Thank you, Mr Speaker. My question is to the Minister of Finance. What is the main economic challenge facing New Zealand, and how is this being addressed by the government's comprehensive economic program?
The Honourable Billing.
Mr Speaker, New Zealand's main economic challenge is that our growth rate fell sharply from about 2005, and the government from about then became the economy from about then became heavily reliant on unsustainable government spending and excessive borrowing for housing speculation. So we went into recession before the global financial crisis, and our average per capita growth rate for the 3 years to 2008 was negative 0.5% per year. The government has sought to address this challenge by means of a substantial tax reform program, a multi-billion-dollar infrastructure program, sorting out the government's finances which were left in a mess, improving skills and education, and cutting red tape.
Aaron Gilmore.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. Supplementary to the Minister. What are the main symptoms of the significant imbalances that have been built up in the New Zealand economy over the past 5 or 6 years?
The Honourable Bill English.
Well, Mr Speaker, there are two main symptoms. One is that the tradable sector, which is exporters, tourism and importing competing industries, the earnings side of the economy went into recession in about 2004. There have been no net new jobs in agriculture and manufacturing since 2002. Since then, however, the non-tradable sector, the spending part of government and domestic industry, has grown by about 10%. The second symptom is a sharp rise in New Zealand's external liabilities, net external liabilities, which have grown from about $100 billion in 2000 to about $170 billion this year, and forecast to increase to $250 billion, or $250 billion, by 2014. Both of these trends need to be turned around.
The Honourable David Cunliffe.
To the Minister, given the cancellation of the much-touted program to mine national parks and the failure so far to fund the rollout of broadband, can he confirm that the only comprehensive economic program left for the government is its policy to reduce or destroy labour rights?
The Honourable Bill English.
No, Mr Speaker. Our program needs to be comprehensive to turn around the mismanagement of that Labor government, which caused the significant imbalances I just talked about, where from 2002 there have been no new jobs in agriculture and manufacturing, while on the other hand the government sector and domestic housing spending and consumption spiralled out of control.
Aaron Gilmore.
A supplementary to the Minister. What early signs of progress has he seen that some of New Zealand's economic imbalances are being turned around?
The Honourable Bill English.
Mr Speaker, well, first, the economy is actually growing now instead of shrinking as it was in 2007 and 2008. The tradable sector has grown 3.4% in the 9 months to March 2010, faster than the non-tradable sector, and that would be the first time since December 2002 that our earning capacity has grown faster than our spending. Finally, New Zealanders are being more careful with their spending. Per capita private sector consumption has grown by only 1% in the past year, after increasing consistently above 4% per year between 2002 and 2007. Household debt is also easing after a decade of rapid growth under the previous government.
The Honourable David Cunliffe.
Mr Speaker, isn't it true that skills and technology are some of the primary drivers of productivity, and that productivity is one of the key issues holding back New Zealand? And if so, why did the government scrap the R&D tax credits, cut the skills strategy, cut education and cut the Fast Forward Fund?
The Honourable Bill English.
Well, Mr Speaker, we did ditch a whole lot of verbose, meaningless strategies on which the previous Labor government spent millions workshopping, drafting, redrafting and publishing, because none of them worked. And the evidence for that is that under the previous government, growth virtually stopped, our spending went out of control, our earning capacity was throttled, and New Zealand built up record amounts of debt, and we are changing that.
Aaron Gilmore.
Supplementary question to the Minister. What economic policy prescription would put these early signs of recovery at risk and cost thousands of jobs?
The Honourable Bill English.
Well, Mr Speaker, pretty much anything that the previous Labor government did and anything the current opposition promised.
The Honourable question number 2, Aaron Gilmore. I beg your pardon, question number 3, the Honourable David Cunliffe.
Mr Speaker,